We welcome in new softball coach Chrissy Strimple into the eye of the hurricane, and believe it or not, yep, the season is upon us, about ready to start the year, and this is your first year as head softball coach. How is that going, and how's the transition been for you? You've been a long-time assistant here at TU.
Obviously being able to do it at Tulsa, there's a lot of comfort. I know a lot of the athletes here. I recruited a lot of the girls, and so as far as getting to know the personnel, hasn't been too much of a challenge. There's some excitement, not necessarily like nervousness. I think once we get into that first game, things will go away. But I was pretty heavily involved as far as like how we schemed things, how we did things defensively, what type of philosophy we like to go with as far as the game. So just getting that implemented with some of the returners, and then being able to mesh the newcomers with those returners is honestly, it's been fun. I think that's what a lot of coaches enjoy doing, because it puts you back into that teaching mode as far as a coach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's anxiety as you try to cobble the team together. But we'd be remiss if we didn't say you're losing 5 players that were huge contributors to the program, and that's a hole that's not easy to fill.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime that you lose players who started 3 and 4 years, you just wonder how those kids are going to step in. But I think, the way that we've done things is you always had that next person up mentality. You've recruited athletes to come in and knowing that, hey, it's going to be my turn. And I think that's the way that you approach it. Like I said, you have a system. You're just trying to get those kids acclimated to how that system is. Once they understand it, now we're just trying to, sharpen those tools.
Yeah, the one thing you do have in terms of a comfort level coming back is your pitching staff. So
yes.
Let's go through the pitching staff, because you had 3 that got a lot of innings last year.
Absolutely. Just kind of starting from the seniors down, you have Cassidy Scott, who's a senior, has a lot of experience between being a transfer and then coming in last year. So she knows what to expect, and she's kind of a gamer, loves to get out there. Sam Pokop, I think, just had a great year, last year. And even this past fall, really had a phenomenal fall. And she's looked pretty sharp, coming into the so far this spring in practices and things of that nature. And then Shanice Dels, as a freshman, just came in and impacted our pitching staff like you would want a freshman to.
Sure.
Not an easy thing to do in the circle, but what she can do in the circle, but then also what she's able to do offensively for us. And you're just, as a coach, you're just always excited to know that you have that experience coming back in the circle. That's just such a big part of the game.
Yeah, ERA under 2 for Shanice, 15 wins. And then, as you mentioned, she's got pop on the other side. I mean, she can provide some pop in the hitting area for you, which you may need.
Yes, absolutely. As a freshman, she kind of worked her way into the middle of our lineup. You're going to get a great at bat from her. And then even, through her progression this fall in training and also this spring, she's really looked pretty good, provide some needed power that you're going to have in the middle of your lineup.
And speaking of power, Alexis Perry at third base is one of your returners. You have Michaela Witten in center field, and then Sarah Briers can play anywhere. So those are the ones that are coming back. How do you cobble the rest of it now? Anybody step forward at this point that you're really pleased with? Or?
And one of the challenges we had this summer was, like you said, we did lose 5 girls that were so valuable to our lineup, was meshing those new kids with your old kids. And we were able to bring in a couple transfers that have experience at this level, that have seen the type of pitching, have seen the game speed at this level. And so Kylie Norwood is a transfer for us. She'll be a junior. I look for her to be in the middle infield for us, but she's hit leadoff for the last 2 years. Their team made regionals last year, so she's seen what the game can be like and the speed that you need to play. And so I really appreciate having her experience in playing in the middle infield. And then she has a chance to, quite frankly, bat in the top of our lineup. And then also bringing another transfer in, Tasia Ellison from Missouri. She's seen, the speed of the game as well. And so we did add some players who have college experience at this level. And then, we got some freshmen that are, trying to step up and compete for some spots. And so it's been a nice mesh with your returners who have seen a lot, understand how we play, at Tulsa, and then the same, bringing in some of those transfers that have some game experience as well.
Yeah, and this early season, these tournaments have to be kind of discovery phase for you, right? I mean, you have to discover who does what and how you're going to kind of put things together, and it's important early in the year to kind of establish it, isn't it?
Right. And one of the things that we've been talking about with our team is I really feel we've got 20 girls that we can go to battle with. And, we've got a variety. We've got power. We've got some girls that run well. We've got left-handed hitters. We have some right-handed hitters. And we're a little more versatile across the board than what we have been in the past 4 years. And so I'm excited to see some of the matchups that we can play, depending on what type of pitchers we're playing or whatever is thrown against us. I feel like we can go one of two ways. We can put some more power in the lineup. We could also put some girls who can run a little bit in the lineup.
Well, certainly there's a great tradition here at the University of Tulsa, and Chrissy is part of that. Coach Barfeld leaving last year, and now you're the first-year head coach. Is there any pressure to kind of continue that tradition here, or is it just kind of anxiety and just looking forward to seeing what you can do?
I would probably say anxiety. I think, for me, I just want our seniors to go out on a great note. They've been a part of some championship teams. A standard that we put here is that we're trying to compete, for conference championships, playing in a tough conference as the American is in softball. And so I kind of keep the focus towards, I want to send those seniors out, on a good note. We've been very successful here, and even from when I was a player, trying to get things turned around for this program, and then knowing what John has been able to do, and then being a part of it, I want to carry on the traditions that we've set, here at Tulsa. And like I said, I want to send those seniors out on just a great season.
And these early bird tournaments, obviously you're going south and east or whatever, but you're trying to get in some good weather because weather is a little bit sketchy here in Oklahoma this time of year. But as you do that, that establishes a lot of games, a lot of experience. So tell us the first tournament that you're going to. Describe what's going on with that tournament.
We are headed south. We're headed to Macon, Georgia for the Mercer tournament, and there'll be some teams there that we have not played in my career here, and so it's always nice to see some new teams. The Eastern Kentucky, I think we start off with Tennessee Tech, and you're really just kind of focused in on game one. But it's nice to get out knowing that you're probably going to go somewhere that's a little bit warmer. But we've had great weather so far, through our practices. But it'll be nice to get out on the field, somebody else's field, compete against some different teams, instead of ourselves competing against each other. But there'll be some good competition that first weekend, and then leading into the rest of our tournaments as we go forward.
And one of those tournaments is right here in Tulsa, late February, right?
Yes, we have a great lineup coming in with Oregon, Louisville, I believe, Drake up north. I know I'm missing, one other team, but just some good competition and some good softball that's about to come this way.
All right, there you have it. The season is upon us, and then, of course, look at the website and figure out what games you can come to for the home tournament coming up at the Collins Family Softball Complex. Thanks to Chrissy Strimple for joining us, TU Softball.